Christmas Eve. Snowflakes fell like tiny dancers from the dark sky, each one a little piece of magic. I clutched the small velvet box in my pocket, my heart thumping a rhythm that matched the festive carols playing from a distant window. Tonight was the night. 3 years with Sarah, and I knew she was the one. I had pictured this moment 1,000 times, her surprise, her tears of joy, the way she'd throw her arms around me and say yes. Our future was a bright, warm light, just like the Christmas tree I could see twinkling through her apartment window. I took a deep breath, the cold air stinging my lungs, and walked up the steps. I didn't bother ringing the bell. I had a key. A surprise, after all, needed the element of surprise. I turned the key as quietly as I could, a wide grin already spreading across my face. The apartment was dimly lit, mostly by the soft glow of the tree. Mistletoe hung in the doorway, and I smiled, thinking about the kiss we'd share under it. But the scene that greeted me wasn't the one from my dreams. It was a nightmare. 2 figures were silhouetted against the tree, locked in an embrace. For a split second, my mind refused to process it. Maybe it was a movie on TV. But then, a familiar laugh echoed in the quiet room. It was Sarah's laugh. And as they turned, the face of the man with her came into focus. It was Mark. My best friend since childhood, my best man to be. They hadn't seen me. I froze, hidden in the shadows of the hallway, my entire world tilted on its axis. The warmth I felt just moments ago was replaced by an icy cold that had nothing to do with the weather outside. It was a cold that started in my chest and spread through my veins, freezing every hope, every dream, every memory we had built together. The velvet box in my pocket felt like a block of lead, weighing me down, pulling me into a dark abyss. I heard her whisper his name, a tone she used to reserve for me. I heard him whisper back, words of affection that were daggers to my heart. They were so wrapped up in each other, they were oblivious to the third person in the room, the one whose life they were shattering. I saw him lean in and kiss her, a long, passionate kiss, right under our Christmas tree. The tree we had picked out together, the ornaments we had hung together, each one a memory. They were just painful reminders of a lie. My first instinct was to storm in, to scream, to demand an explanation, to smash everything in sight. The rage was a physical thing, a hot, searing wave that threatened to consume me. My hands clenched into fists, my nails digging into my palms. But then, another thought pushed through the red haze. A colder, sharper thought. What would that accomplish? A messy scene? A shouting match? They would probably just turn it around on me, call me crazy, jealous. No, they didn't deserve a quick, explosive end. They deserved something more. They deserved to feel a fraction of the humiliation and pain I was feeling. Silently, I backed out of the apartment, closing the door with a barely audible click. Each step away felt like walking on broken glass. The festive street now seemed to mock me, the cheerful lights blinding me. I walked for hours, I don't know where. The snow kept falling, covering my tracks, as if trying to erase my very existence. The initial shock gave way to a deep, hollow ache. How could she, and how could he? The 2 people I trusted most in the world. Every shared laugh, every secret, every moment of support now seemed like a charade. Was any of it real? When I finally got back to my own apartment, the sun was starting to rise on Christmas morning. The day that was supposed to be the happiest of my life was now the darkest. I looked at my reflection in the window. A stranger stared back, his eyes empty, his face a mask of grief. But as I looked, something shifted. The grief was still there, but it was joined by something else, a steely resolve. I wasn't going to let them destroy me. I wasn't going to crawl into a hole and disappear. They had made their choice. I would make mine. An eye for an eye, a heart for a heart. If they wanted to play games, fine, but they had no idea who they were playing against. My mind, which had been a chaotic storm of pain, started to clear. Ideas began to form, fragments of a plan clicking into place, like pieces of a puzzle. It wouldn't be loud or violent. It would be quiet, calculated, and devastating. The next few days were an act. I answered Sarah's calls, my voice carefully neutral. She said she missed me, asked why I hadn't come over on Christmas Eve. I made up an excuse about a sudden family emergency. She bought it, her voice dripping with fake sympathy. Mark called too, asking if everything was okay, playing the part of the concerned best friend. The hypocrisy was nauseating, but I played along. I told them both I had to be out of town for a bit, but would be back for the big New Year's Eve party that our entire friend group was planning. The party. That was it. It was a stage. Our friends, our families, they had all been part of our lives, witnesses to our perfect relationships. They would now be the audience for the final act. I spent the week preparing. It was meticulous, methodical work that kept the rage at bay. I went through years of photos, videos, and messages. Every happy memory was now a weapon. I compiled everything into a video. It started with photos of me and Sarah, happy moments from our 3 years together, set to our song. Then it transitioned to photos of me and Mark, from childhood's scraped knees to graduation triumphs, a montage of brotherhood. But the centerpiece, the grand finale, was the footage from my secret. After that night, I had a suspicion. I placed a small, discreet security camera in her apartment, disguised as a new digital photo frame I sent her as a late Christmas gift. It was a long shot, but my gut told me they wouldn't be able to resist. I was right. The camera captured everything. Them together, in the apartment I had helped her decorate, on the sofa I had helped her buy. It was gut-wrenching to watch, but every second of footage fueled my resolve. This wasn't just about revenge anymore. It was about revealing the truth. New Year's Eve arrived. The party was at a rented hall, lavish and filled with laughter, music, and the clinking of champagne glasses. Sarah rushed to me the moment I walked in, throwing her arms around me. "I missed you so much," she said, her smile as bright and as fake as a cheap diamond. I hugged her back, my touch cold. Mark came over and clapped me on the shoulder. "Good to have you back, man," he said, his eyes avoiding mine. The irony was suffocating. The clock ticked closer to midnight. The host announced it was time for the traditional year-in-review slideshow, a compilation of photos from the past year. This was my cue. I had spoken to the DJ earlier, telling him I had a special surprise video tribute for Sarah. He thought it was romantic. The lights dimmed. The big screen lit up. My video began to play. It started just as I had planned. Murmurs of awe rippled through the crowd. Sarah squeezed my hand, whispering, "This is so sweet." Then, the photos of me and Mark appeared. Our friends cheered, seeing the testament to our long friendship. Mark grinned, giving me a thumbs up. They had no idea. The music shifted. The happy song faded, replaced by a slow, melancholic piano track. The screen went black for a second, and then the security camera footage started. The room fell silent. You could have heard a pin drop. The footage was grainy, but clear enough. There was no mistaking Sarah and Mark. On screen, they were doing exactly what I had seen them do on Christmas Eve. A collective gasp went through the crowd. I felt Sarah's hand drop from mine. I turned to look at her. Her face was a canvas of pure shock, then horror, then humiliation. Her eyes darted from the screen to me, pleading, but my face was a stone mask. I looked over at Mark. He looked like he had been punched in the gut, his face pale, his mouth hanging open. He was looking at Sarah, then at the shocked faces of our friends, then at me. My eyes he found no mercy. The video ended. The screen went black. The silence was deafening. It's broken only by a single sob from Sarah. The countdown to midnight began somewhere in the background, a bizarre soundtrack to the destruction of 2 lives. 10, 9, 8. I didn't say a word. I just placed the velvet ring box on the table in front of Sarah. I opened it, revealing the diamond ring that was meant for her. 7, 6, 5. I looked her dead in the eye, then looked at Mark. 4, 3, 2, 1. "Happy New Year," I said, my voice low and steady. As the shouts of Happy New Year and the pop of champagne corks filled the hall, I turned and walked away, leaving them in the wreckage of the lives they had built on lies. I didn't look back. The snow was falling outside again, but this time it felt different. It felt like a cleansing. It was a new year, and for the first time in a long time, I was free. Thank you for watching. If you've ever felt betrayed, know that you are not alone, and the best revenge is living well and standing in your truth. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories.